Hi everybody, this is Jim Egan, head of school, Synapse School with a Friday update. As you can see, I am not in my office back at school, but I'm in my wife's office in our home in upstate New York. I had an opportunity to come back east and visit a neuroscience lab at Cornell University that is using fMRI technology. As you may know, in our lab at Synapse, we're using EEG head nets, but they are doing some super creative things around that technology, fMRI, looking at brain imaging and applying it or cross-pollinating with biology. And they are hoping to democratize what they're learning more broadly with educators and teachers, and that's what I was doing there. And it was just a fascinating visit to talk with such bright people who are asking interesting questions and then are using technology to try to find the hidden talents in individuals and try to make those people with neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's lives better. One thing they talked to me about a lot was exercise, everybody, how this is good not only for your physical well-being, it's good for your brain, and it's good for your mood. It is a wonder drug. Move your body, move it vigorously. That's what you should do. And honestly, they're finding this out now in neuroscience labs, just like the one I visited yesterday at Cornell University. So I was able to come home to our beautiful house in upstate New York. You can hear there's a bit of an echo. I apologize. It's because it's an old house. It's over 100 years old. We've got some work to do on it perpetually with a home this old. And I also got to see my daughter, who's a freshman at Cornell. And don't worry, I'm also following along with what's going on at Synapse. And right now, as kids and teachers are moving into T3 and preparing new projects and getting ready for expeditions and getting ready for spring break, we the leadership team have really been helping Dana in particular and Raquel in the admissions office manage that situation, because our offers went out as well as letters that were probably weren't what many families wanted to hear. And we know how hard it is as a school when you have so many bright kids, so many families who want Synapse as a part of their life for their children and for themselves. We just don't have the spots for that. So we've been managing the emotions and the expectations and the results of our decisions, just as our 8th graders have, because many of them, not all of them, but many of them applied to private schools too. So I've been thinking a lot about that process and how we have to remain human and be personal and be excited and at the same time empathetic. There's a lot to it. I was also thinking about what my daughter told me around her experience at Cornell, what she is finding really just wonderful, and it's made her glad she's chosen Cornell. It's the experience broadly. It's being surrounded by not only bright kids, but interested and curious and creative kids. It's about the experiences and the offerings on campus, whether it's in athletics or in outdoor education or in the arts or social. There's so much to do. And I was thinking about this, right? So these are kids, she was a Synapse graduate. So many Synapse kids are very bright and they have keen intellects, and that's wonderful and that's necessary, right? They're precocious. They come in at 4, 5, 6 years old, often. So many of Synapse kids do. And we know this, right? They're capable when it comes to reading. They are capable when it comes to numeracy. And that is important. But the long and short of it is, I think sometimes it could be a university, it could be a high school, it could be a teacher, it could be even, parents. They're putting too much of an emphasis on the intellect and over-indexing on how a young person, a child, can manipulate letters and manipulate numbers, right? Yes, You need to be able to do some of that in order to land at a college like Cornell University. That's true. But what really, I think, most high schools and most colleges, I believe this, they want to see more than just that. And I know for my daughter, it is the more than just that that is making her college experience awesome, right? And so keep that in mind, parents. That yes, you want your child to be able to do academic things, and you want them to have a rich intellect, but you also want to provide for them an environment where they can explore pursuits that maybe they didn't think were open to them. You want to make sure that they understand their emotional landscape and to navigate that and be able to articulate how they're feeling and be able to understand how they're making others feel as well. So you want them to be robustly prepared socially, and you want to make sure that they're in an environment, whether it's at home, whether it's at school, whether it's with peers, where they are having a large menu of options, right? I was in the dining hall over at Cornell. By the way, is not the same sort of dining hall I had back in college in the late 80s there, where it's like, here you go, Sloppy Joe. It was like a food court at a high-end mall. But you can see so many offerings. There's so many choices, so many things you could try. I think we want to continue to offer that to students, not just at TKK in first grade, right? Kids come in, they are developmentally ready to explore when they're 5, 6, 7 years old. But somehow that exploration and that belief that you can do so many things, whether it's dancing or singing or kicking a ball or racing, someone in a foot race. Ask any 5-year-old if they can run fast. They'll probably challenge you to a race. Certainly at Synapse they will. And these days I'm starting to slow down. I sometimes have to say no thank you. But somehow over the course of elementary school into middle school into high school, so many kids lose that confidence or that curiosity. And so I know at Synapse, we are that environment that is going to try and bring out the best of kids intellectually, but also to allow them to figure out who they are as individuals and give them opportunities also to explore so many things, whether it's photography, whether it's jazz music, whether it's, poetry. And often this is done in a very human and 3D project-based way. So let's not over-index on intellect. Let's applaud it and make sure that students feel stretched and that they have a chance to go deep. But also, let's make sure that all kids everywhere understand who they are and make sure that they know what their talents, whether they're overt or hidden, what they are and how they can utilize them to make their life super. Okay, I could talk about this all day long. Have a great weekend and see you soon.